Welcome, my minions, to week 2 of PlotNoWriMo. We're going to talk about brainstorming. This week, this is where you take that idea from last week and you bring it into reality. Now, last week you probably did some brainstorming and you didn't even know it. The writing of an idea gets you thinking about said idea and you start working out how all of the pieces are going to fit together. So last week you probably did a great deal of this, just writing out your idea. But this week, we're going to concentrate on brainstorming. So we're going to take that natural process of the writer and we're going to spur it along. Glance or read over all of your notes from last week about the grand idea. There are going to be a lot of plot holes there. Plot holes, character holes. Not everything is fitting together quite yet, now is it? From this idea, you're going to have a lot of pieces of your story and a lot of questions about everything from goals and motives to background and timeline. The point of brainstorming is to answer these questions and start putting all of the pieces into some kind of coherent order for your story. Now, knowing just what you know so far about your idea, start thinking about how some of these questions might be answered and some of these pieces connected to the whole. Maybe your main character's best friend Charlie is also the ex-love interest of your villain's grandmother, therefore creating the necessary connection to bring your nursing home-bound hero in contact with your adversary. The most important thing to remember at this stage is don't get too stressed out. Nothing is going to fit perfectly. This is preliminary. We're just brainstorming about how to make all of these pieces fit and connect together. The best way that I brainstorm is I look at my idea as a whole and I just start pulling out the questions that I need to answer. How this is actually going to make sense in the whole and whether it actually does make sense. So what I do is I take these questions one by one, I just write them down on a sheet of paper and I start writing. So like if you have a question about whether or not this piece is going to work with the whole, write down the question, write down why you don't think it will work, and write down why you want it to work. So what it adds to the story and also what it doesn't add to the story. And just as you're writing, you're going to narrow down that question until you find whatever piece of that idea that's going to fit into the whole of your story. Now sometimes these questions, the answer that you're going to come up with is no. That's really not going to work for the best of my story. And you pull it out and you throw it away. Sometimes these questions are going to say, yes, this idea will work, but only if you wait until right here to stick it in. So writing down these questions and ideas just gives me a look overall to see what about the idea is going to work and what about it isn't going to work. And from there, I can start working out whether it will be more beneficial to have it in the story or whether it would be more beneficial to just take it out. And also, how exactly I can work it into the story. And this is why I have so many pages of notes. In the organizing stage, you are going to trim this down by just taking out the bits and pieces that will actually work and will actually make it into your storyline. Okay, so that's it for brainstorming. Next week, we're going to talk about your major points, and we're going to start building some preliminary outlines for your story. But don't be too scared, because it's really quite simple. Alright, I will see you next time, and hey, let me know how you're doing. Just tweet to #PlotBender, and let me know how it's going, or ask any questions you might have. Alright, I will see you guys next week.